This right here is going to turn into a lot more than it is right now.
Happy New Year and Merry Late Christmas. Very, very Merry Late Christmas. This was meant to come out 2 months ago, I just didn't get to editing it, but you could have seen it early if you were to tune into my live streams that I do sometimes. So, let's make that decision next time.
So we're going to get straight into it with a bit of a backstory. On the screen right now is one of two posts I replied to reminding the poster about the rules. The rule is that you have to show the amount of V-Bucks you have in your post when you request something. That's the rule that's on the Reddit page. So there was 2 posts that I replied to. One I replied to after an hour of being posted. One I replied to after 6 minutes of being posted. So I've done that. This one I think was the hour one. I'm not sure. It could be either one. It doesn't really matter. Before this, I had posted something. So the stuff in the previous video happened. And then I posted a not really a request. I stand by saying that it wasn't a request because it was a place where people could request something. It was just letting people know that
they could request for talent, which is a whole thing in this. I just reminded these people of the thing.
And after I posted mine, the mods replied almost instantly to my post, but not to these ones.
Which I'm not saying they weren't going to. I'm just saying that they did it much faster for me.
Let's get into the comments. I put in the post, I said, you gotta show your V-Bucks. Just to let them know, like, you have to show, it's a rule, you have to show your V-Bucks. They said, what do you mean? I'm sorry, this is my first post. I said, well, read the rules before posting, and you have to show your current V-Bucks in your post. The person says, I fixed it, I'm sorry. And I said, no, don't apologize, I've had the mods on my ass about the rules. Do you guys want to see my ass? I'm going to pull it up on the screen. This is an ass or an ass, however you want to say it. The definition of the spelling, ASS, is an animal of the horse family, which is typically smaller than a horse and has longer ears and a braying call, right? This doesn't really matter, but just keep that in mind. Keep it in mind that this spelling is not a curse word. Then, this mod, amazing mod that was in the first video, OK Recognition 119. They were in the first video for one message. They messaged once for this whole thing, and now they're a main character. They've came into the spotlight. They said, honestly, I can't believe you right now. I'm not sure what they can't believe, because I wasn't really mentioning the drama that happened. All I was saying that I've had the mods on my ass, because it is true. That's a true statement. Which I then said, yeah, I was definitely extremely rude after I was attacked, because my drawing was obviously traced and clearly AI. There was no proof at all, and I got disqualified for something with no proof. Just want to drill in the fact there was no proof. They said you got requalified. So honestly, why are you still arguing? I don't understand the arguing part. I wasn't arguing. Where am I arguing in this? If anyone can tell me in the chat. I then said it's not the fact I was disqualified, it's the fact I was falsely accused and disqualified without proof of anything.
Now just to clarify here, but it's not the fact I got disqualified. It's the fact I was falsely disqualified. Just making that clear.
They said it was a mistake and she made up for it. End it there and stop dragging this on. Not sure where I'm dragging this on. All I said was one thing that was true. I'm not arguing. I made one true comment and it's arguing when I reply. That ended there. And with that, now we will go to the beginning of this. I believe there was messages before this. This was taken on my phone, but I believe there was messages because some of the messages are disappearing weirdly. Okay. The mod you are talking to already apologized and took accountability, but you are still stretching it. Did you honestly read all of it? And we were notified about the video you made by another member. That is amazing. I'm so glad. She was never being rude. Yes, she was. And this was her first time dealing with such situations like this. Which, that's valid. I'm not giving her any hate for that. But, you know, there's times you can learn. This stressed her the hell out to the point where she couldn't even sleep last night. That is a guilt trip. And I'm sorry if that actually happened. And even if it did, that didn't need to be added. That's personal. Right? All of this put stress on me too. I did a drawing and I wanted it to be qualified, and I knew that I was not going to win even after I got requalified because of this all. She's not even excited anymore to host these because of you. This is final and we are done communicating with you. So I feel like it's pretty rude to just end it there without me letting me do what I was going to say. Wow, I cannot believe this at all. I am not stretching this at all. So I'm going to reply to the message about my permanent ban here, because I couldn't reply to the other one because I was banned. So what community rules did I break? You think the stress was only on her? This is absolutely insane, considering I was accused without proof, and now I was banned without a valid reason. I was not dragging anything on. I made one message that I thought was true, and it was dragged on by you. They said, wait, so you're going to ignore the 4 whole days of beef you had with her? She literally apologized. Doesn't mean it makes everything better. And you're still sitting here complaining. I read the entire thread, and I'm not going to lie, it was a bad look. It wasn't bad on her, it was a bad look. Plus, that video you made, you couldn't even keep other people's art out of it. Smooth. I think she's insinuating that I was trying to show other people's art to say it's bad. I actually wasn't. In my video, I showed all of the art that was uploaded at the time to actually show that I appreciate all this art, and I've actually looked through it all, which it's all very good art. They said 4 whole days of beef with her, even after you were let back in. I don't remember 4 whole days. The one that did let us know did not like that their art was in your video. And yes, you did break a rule. Swearing in our sub. Let's go back. I said ass/arse. This is not a curse. I was banned for talking about a donkey. This conversation ends now. So I added the art because I liked all of it. But if the person wants their art taken out of the video, they can contact me. I'm not ignoring the 4 days of stuff that happened. I knew that after what had happened, even if my art was brought back in, I had 0 chance of winning because of what happened. It wasn't a bad look. It was bad in general. That's why my dad told me to make the video. Everything in the video was true. Wow, not even letting me finish my side of the conversation. Will, are you talk enough? Really? She doesn't even want to deal with you anymore. So that's why I'm here. So a mod can't deal with her own problems. Everything she said, you always had something to say. That's how conversations work. And no, you did... Actually, let me go back. Everything she said, you always had something to say, because she was falsely accusing me without any proof. Of course I'm gonna have something to say back to that, because she was telling me that she was insinuating that I was lying, because I told her that I did not trace it and it was not AI, that she did not believe that, and she still didn't believe that after everything that happened. And no, you did not have 0 chance. You were actually going pretty dang well, but we didn't like the thread you kept piling up onto her. No, I actually didn't, actually. Making that video was the final straw for us. You said your side, and I said my side, and this is now over. Good day to you. I believe that is it for that conversation. Let's go to this. I think this was before the OK recognition stuff. I messaged the original mod. Etheria, I think the name is. I said, hello, would you care at all to apologize for picking apart my drawing and pointing out my mistakes? You constantly called me disrespectful and stubborn when you began this interaction with 4 messages, starting off great then moving straight to disqualifying me. I think that's pretty fair. I think I do deserve an apology for that, because I never got an apology, and just requalifying me wasn't, that wasn't enough. Right? Obviously the apology isn't going to make it 100% better. But this right here is a valid message because she fully picked apart my drawing and found all the little mistakes. That is never going to make anyone feel good about the drawing. I did say in the drawing you can, please, if you have any critiques, then let me know. But going in and picking it apart slowly is very, that's just unneeded. When they said, hi there. It was my first time ever handling a situation like yours. I haven't been a mod for more than 2 months, and my new sub hasn't reached a month since I created it. This is the first art competition I'm hosting, and I was really excited about it, and just really wanted that every member submitting respected the rules as to not make it an unfair contest. I realized that I could have handled things with you a lot better, and I will from now on. I have heard your complaints and suggestions, and will do better if this happens again. As I said, this is all pretty new for me, and I gotta be frank with you, it's been extremely challenging to deal with you. Anytime I interact with you for moderating purposes, to remind you of a rule, or ask that you add something on your post, we go back and forward needlessly for days to the point I feel like you're rage baiting me and trying to make me lose my composure on purpose. The comments you make seem totally unnecessary, And although I am aware that I could have handled things better with you, I also know it could have been a lot worse if I wasn't a calm person who's only trying to do my best here and be fair with everyone, even if it feels wrong, because I know I'm doing the right thing. Now, she was not fair with me at all. Still now, I don't understand why you need me to apologize when I have amended things and allowed your submission to make it in the art competition. But I am sorry, genuinely. I never meant to speak negatively of your drawing. I literally loved and complimented it on the art competition post because I did really like it. This was not personal or intentionally done to harm you. There was just things I started to notice in it, and I had to proceed on making the art competition fair. You did proceed in the wrong way. You started off great. When I said your coloring seemed to be lower levels in skill than your drawing, it wasn't to offend you, but I understand that it might have, so I'm sorry for that. I know my message is long, but I needed to say those things. I just hope we can move on from this, and that you enjoy yourself in our sub, without making snarky comments at the moderation. We are doing the best we can out here, and everyone's dealing with their own personal life problems. That's why I'm trying to make this community a positive place for everyone. We all need a break sometimes. That's correct. This is what I replied with. I understand you're a new moderator, and I do want to really put it out there that I think that mod work for subreddits is very difficult. Now, I do think that because some people on Reddit are pretty difficult themselves. I was giving you that advice not because I think you should already know it, but because I believe you should learn it. I have made a total of 1 comment about the mod team that wasn't even meant in a snarky way. It was the truth. I came across 2 request posts, one being public for 6 minutes, the other being public for an hour, and neither of which had a comment reinstating the rule of showing V-Bucks. But my post had moderator comments right in between the 6 minutes and an hour. I think it was more 20 minutes. Saying that dealing with me has been challenging is fair, and I will admit that. But saying that without adding the fact I was accused of doing things I would never do in an art submission, I stated multiple times that I was not able to show you the reference, and even stated a time I would get home, which clearly wasn't soon at the time, since I would have said X minutes or an hour. Right? I said that I would be home at 3, so that means, you could assume that if I was going to be home in 20 minutes, I would have said 20 minutes, or if I was going to be home in an hour, I would have said an hour. Yet you kept asking for it, and I kept telling you I could not show you. You were very difficult to deal with as well. You showed me 3 mistakes I made, and said they could not have been made without AI. That was more than extremely rude, but you still won't admit that it wasn't only me who was rude. But again, I made 1 comment about the mods, and you are exaggerating that out of proportion. I have taken accountability and apologized, and you want to keep arguing for YouTube content. This is it for me. I'm blocking you. Never contact me again, and if you dare harm the subreddit in any way, I will report you to Reddit for harassment. Cool. Is there any more screenshots in this? This is the, I believe OK Recognition said this. You dealt my friend a great amount of stress, and she gave as much as she could, but in the end, none of that mattered to you, except stretching it further. For the betterment of my friend, I think this is the only way. Do not contact us, please. This is the ban message I received. This is when I got muted. So I got muted and then banned. Because I never got a warning, I just got banned instantly. Because I dealt stress to her friend. So that's actually all the screenshots I have.
So, just to clear up a few plot holes, I have not yet received a message from the person who didn't want their art in my video. What you're about to see is me attempt to look, it's very cut up, but it's me attempt to look for the thread that Etheria was talking about when she was saying that I was dragging it on. It was just her telling me to mention that I wasn't going to use AI, or mention the software I was going to use in a certain post I made about talents for GIFs, but I wasn't going to use AI. And there was a bunch of softwares that I was going to use, and I didn't have to state it. So she should stop enforcing a rule that's not a rule. And then she was, it was a whole thing. Like, it was. It's only a minute longer, so just leave it on for the view time. I would appreciate that.
Is that it? Is that it's deleted? No. It was a whole comment thread where I was just trying to explain that I'm not going to use AI, and I don't need to explain that. So you're asking me to state something that isn't required, as if I need to do it, because they were stating that I needed to present. Yeah, I can't state one singular software due to the fact someone might want me to use a different software for singing, or someone might want me to, or someone might want a digital drawing rather than a paper one. So I can't state all of the things. It's deleted. I can't even look at these messages. Hi, just a reminder for you to use talents for gifts. We don't care if you use AI or not. I'm simply asking that you are clear about how you are making those things, either on your post or to whoever is interested in exchanging. No. I think that's a reply to that one. This is very confusing. Are you for real right now? I literally don't know how to make it clearer to you. I'm just asking that you are transparent with our members. I think that's all. That's all we need to go through. Well, if you're watching right now, then thank you so much for watching this video.